Good evening. Here we go. We're going to try this again. Let's see if it works. Can everybody hear way up back? Put your flags out the window if you can hear. Thank you. Good. All right. That makes me feel better. Well, thank you for being courageous enough to come out in this nice, warm April afternoon. How I was hoping it would be a nicer evening than this. But at least it's not raining. I want to thank the firemen and the road crew for helping us get this set up this afternoon. That's a big help. Because last year we had a dry run, and this year it went together very well, I think. I hope next year we can be inside somewhere. But at least we've got this down pat. I'm sure you've got your packets and all the information that you need. I do have a couple of awards or remembrances I'd like to give out this evening. I don't know if Marcel is here. He is. Good. Can you hear me if I stand right here? Okay. We've wanted to do this last fall, Marcel, to give you a public thank you for all your work. 30 years on the school board representing Woodstock. I think that's very commendable, and we certainly appreciate it. We just want to give you this certificate. It says, awarded to Marcel Pollock in recognition of 30 years of dedication on the school board for the town of Woodstock. I want to give you that bicentennial coin to go with it.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure serving the community, the kids, and the taxpayers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is Rose here? Rose Fraser? You haven't seen her? Okay. Is Joyce Howe here? Joyce? She's coming. Rose is?
Yeah.
Right.
I think we both are, man.
Okay.
Don't keep them out too long.
Rose. I didn't think I'd be doing the same thing with Marcel as with Rose. We wanted to thank her publicly, and this is the best chance we've had. Rose, thank you for 19 plus years as administrative assistant for the town of Woodstock.
Well, I want to thank you and everyone for putting up with this.
It was a lot of good things, and I appreciate it. And this one says certificate of appreciation to Rose Fraser in recognition of 20 years, it was almost 20, of dedication as an administrative assistant for the town of Woodstock. And there's a bicentennial coin. Thank you. Goldfish. Come back and get this or
I thought that was going to be.
come back.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more. This one, thank you.
I'll be the flower girl.
This Spirit of America Award is always a fun one to give out. It recognizes people for doing things that are representative of the spirit of America. What's that? Can't hear me? Is that better? Is this okay? The Spirit of America Award this year Joyce has worked tirelessly on cemetery issues, on the Historical Society. She drove bus for 30 years taking care of our kids, and she's well deserving of the Spirit of America Award. It says, and also she was with Tri-Town Ambulance Service from 1983 to 1996. And so whereas Joyce exemplifies the American way of life in so many ways, be it resolved by the selectmen of the town of Woodstock that Joyce B. Howe is hereby recognized for her great achievements and honors she has brought upon the community with the 2021 Woodstock Spirit of America Foundation Tribute. And furthermore, this resolution is to go with it, properly framed, for you to hang on the wall.
Oh, thank you.
And that's a bicentennial coin and thank you very much. With that, let's get underway. To Jeffrey Campbell, Senior, President of the Town of Woodstock, reading, the state of Maine, notifying the morning inhabitants of the Town of Woodstock, Maine, qualified to vote in town affairs to assemble at Woodstock Town Office parking lot, 26 Monk Avenue in Bryant Pond on Monday, April 26, 2021, at 6 p.m. There and then to vote on the following articles to wit. Article 1, choose a moderator to preside at said meeting. Do I have a nomination, please? I have a nomination for Steve White. Any other nominations? Are we all set for nominations to cease? Wave your flag if you want nominations to cease. Thank you. All those in favor, Steve White serving as moderator for this meeting, please indicate by raising your flag once again. Thank you. Any opposed? No flags? With that, we've elected Steve White moderator for the 2021 Woodstock Town Meeting. Steve?
Isn't this fun? Took a little impromptu vote up here and decided last year's weather was better, but it's not raining. So we're ready to go. So Article 2. Article 2 is to elect the selectman, assessor, and overseer of the poor for a 3-year term. Jeff Campbell's term expires. And Jeff on it? So, your papers are all in and they're all on. Okay. So we need nominations are open for selectmen, assessor, and overseer of the poor. Anyone out there? Want a second? All right, we have a nomination. We have a second. Any other nominations? Seeing none, all nominations cease. And so all those in favor of Jeff Campbell as selectman overseer of the poor and all those other things. Okay, thank you. All opposed? I'm not. Jeff, well, you just elected Jeff. That's great.
Muffled. You're more muffled.
I'm muffled.
I didn't have an answer. Oh, okay.
Remember, the speaker's on top of the machine.
Oh, that's the problem. I didn't know.
That rear row.
Got my paperwork over. Sorry about that.
All of them are recording this in here.
Okay.
Got to learn things here. Okay, Article 3. To elect 2 Whitman Memorial Library trustees for a 3-year term. Alice Deegan's term expires. Alice, are you running again? Alice running?
Alice is running. Yeah.
Okay.
She's the only one.
Do you want somebody else? Nominations for somebody?
No. I mean, ask if anybody else wants to be nominated.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. So Alice is running again. We could take another trustee if anybody wanted to be nominated. Are there any nominations for second trustee? Seeing none, nominations cease. All those in favor of Alice Deegan as library trustee, please raise your flag. I love it. Okay, thank you. All opposed? And Alice, one again. Thank you. Article 4, will the town vote to adopt an ordinance entitled the Town of Woodstock Medical Marijuana Caregiver Retail Store Ordinance. What do you wish to do with this article? Need a motion? We got some over here as well to make a motion. There's somebody back there willing to make a motion. I'm not seeing any runners running.
Jeff, make a motion.
What's up? Thank you. Okay, we have a motion to move the article as written. Is there a second? Okay, thank you. All those is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of accepting the article, passing the article? Other questions? Excuse me. Okay, there's some out here too. So we have questions. I'm sorry, we're going back to discussion and questions. Okay, yeah, put your flag out if you want to ask a question and somebody will come with the radio. I don't see anybody. Okay. All right, all those in favor of Article 4? All opposed? 5. So the town votes to raise and appropriate $75,000 for a portion of the replacement costs of the so-called vacant bridge on Old County Road. What do you wish to do with this article? All right, thank you. Is there a second? There you go. You have a second. The discussion on the article? Yeah, if anybody wants any explanation or if you have any discussion of the article, put your flag out. Seeing none, all those in favor of Article 5 to raise $75,000 for the vacant bridge on Old County Road. All in favor? And opposed? I like this, it's fun. Thank you, the article passes. Article 6, so the town vote to authorize the town to pursue the purchase of 640-acre property known as Buck's Ledge for a community forest, and to expend funds from the town's dedicated land conservation account to support said purchase. What do we wish to do with this article? We need a motion. Yeah, we have a motion back there. Right, thank you. Is there a second? Okay, we have a second up here. Is there any discussion? What's the flag if you want to discuss it? Oh, you got, yeah. Go right ahead, step right up.
Yeah, I just wanted to take this moment to take and recognize all the people, the Conservation Commission, the many volunteers who worked on Buck's Ledge for the last 12 years, building the trails, maintaining the trails, marking the trails, the town for the parking lot when more and more people kept showing up, and because it's the access to Buck's Ledge, to up on the ledges, and those views, being out in nature, that has really made Buck's Ledge what it is and how it's brought everyone in the community and from the surrounding communities to get involved with it. So this is a very important time for us. It's kind of key critical. One of the things that we're looking at last year, we asked for have a committee to explore the possibility of acquiring Buck's Ledge. And what we learned early on with a meeting with the owners as well as our conservation partners is that there was a mutual desire that Buck's Ledge should be permanently conserved. And from that, we decided to take a move forward and to get an appraisal, at least an initial appraisal, which was completed in February. At that point, we realized we'd gone as far as what you authorized us to do. And so, in order to move forward and start to negotiate with the owner, who seems to be in that position, or is interested, we decided we needed to come back to the town and get your approval, as well as authorization to access some of the money in the conservation fund. And one of the things that we'll be looking at is for legal fees, earnest money if we can secure a sales option. So that's what this Article 6 is all about, and I hope that you'll all support it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ed. So anyone else would like to speak to the article? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of authorizing the town to pursue the purchase of the Buck's Ledge property, please raise your flag. Okay, thank you. All opposed? And that passes. Great, thank you. this little note that says no additional funds from the town of Woodstock will be required for the acquisition probably didn't hurt any. Good. Article 7. Shall the town vote to raise and appropriate $4,000 to fund the Simple Ira retirement plan for its employees as a contribution at a contribution rate of 2% of the employee's salary? What do we wish to do with this article? Motion? All right, we have a motion. Is there a second? Right, yes, we have a second. Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? Put the flag out if you want to discuss anything, ask a question. Seeing none.
Oh, way up there.
Oh, yeah, we have a question up in the back. Hold on.
My question is this in addition to the municipal retirement fund that I believe our employees are in at this point?
Up until now, the only retirement money that's being paid out is in the town manager's contract. The other employees have never had any, and we really thought it was time to start considering that.
So that I certainly affirm knowing this because everybody gets to retire, God willing, and it should be something they can contribute to them in.
That's what we thought. Thank you, Bill.
Well, this is Article 7.
There's two different ones.
No, Article 7B is a separate article. Any further discussion? Okay, Article 7, voting on to see if the town will raise and appropriate $4,000 to fund the Simple Ira retirement plan. So all those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Now on to the town Woodstock vote to join the main public employees retirement system as a participating local district effective June 1st, 2021, and to offer a regular plan AC to its full-time employees who work at least 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. And B, to authorize Vern Maxfield, town manager, to sign the agreement between the town and the municipal, the main public employees retirement system. And C, to exclude all other employees, including its elected and appointed officials and its election workers, from participating in the main peers. D, to allow its eligible employees who are currently employed by the town on June 1st, 2021, who elect to join main purpose to purchase prior service upon the employee's full payment of all associated costs. The town of Woodstock will not participate in the purchase of prior service, so employees are responsible for paying full liability associated with the service. I didn't know what that meant. Prior service, but Vern explained that if someone worked for another town and left there, that Woodstock would not buy their retirement program. And the E is to raise and appropriate the $4,000, which we've already done. Oh, this is another 4.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'll watch these guys. So, is there any discussion?
reason for the two articles and the two different retirement plans is because we have one employee that's already in the main state retirement system. In order for us to contribute to that, we have to be in the program. The other employees can have the option of doing a simple IRA, which is actually less money for them to fund it, and I think more easy for them to get started in. So that's the reason for the two articles.
Thank you, Vern. I couldn't have explained that. Any further discussion? Any questions? Any more questions? Okay. All those in favor of Article 7B? Thank you. All opposed? And that article passes. Thank you. Article 8. To see, shall the town of Woodstock approve the capital project consisting of culverts and bridges, repair work, including transaction costs and other expenses reasonably related thereto, and appropriate the sum of $500,000 to fund the project, and authorize the town treasurer and the chair of the select board issue general obligation securities of the town, including temporary notes in anticipation of the sale thereof, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $500,000 to fund the appropriation, and to delegate to the treasurer, the chair of the select board, the authority and discretion to fix the dates, maturities, interest rates, denominations, calls for redemption with or without premium, form, and other details of said securities, including authority to execute and deliver the securities on behalf of the town. What do you wish to do with this article? I'm sure they will. We have a motion. All right, you're a second. Vern wants to explain this. Oh, all right.
How's everybody doing? It's cold, isn't it? So what this article is the Bacon Bridge, or the Bacon Culvert, is actually following, the state has posted it. And they want us to fix it. So we're looking at avenues. We did receive some bids, which were kind of out there and a little unacceptable. So the $500,000, we have an excellent interest rate. I would say to you, vote to approve the $500,000. I think that would be the most that we would need to fix that, and that's just due to material. I foresee it coming in less than that, but we need that money to make that repair and get that taken care of. Right now, it's posted at a 10-ton limit. I believe it's 10 tons, and they inspect it periodically, so that could reduce. And the bottom of that is fairly rusty. So it's just due. It's been in since the 50s, and this is a good way for us to take care of that repair at this time.
Any other questions or discussion on the bridge plan? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Wait a minute, I got a question.
Yep.
My question is, we participate in the funding of this?
The state per se is not contributing to this job, but we do have a grant from Inland Fisheries and Wildlife Stream Protection of $125,000. So that is there and available.
What, in doing this, what do you anticipate our tax change the value each year?
Good question. We're anticipating paying it off at $100,000 per year, and the interest is looking to be around $37,000.
Which amounts to
Oh, mill rate.
$2 per dwelling or whatever per year.
I think that's a pretty close estimate, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good questions. Any other questions? All those in favor? Thank you. All opposed? Okay, the article passes. Article 8A, shall an ordinance entitled Amendments to the Site Plan Review Ordinance to Regulate Commercial Solar Energy Facilities be enacted? What do you wish to do with this article? There we have a motion, or is there a second? Nope. Second for Road. Thank you. Is there discussion? Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? Okay, the article passes. Okay, moving on to Article 9. Shall the town vote to become a Second Amendment sanctuary town as described in the following paragraph? This will provide sanctuary from the law enforcement attempts to enforce any and all federal and state mandates and restrictive laws enacted that would violate the original intent of the protections given the individual under the United States Constitution, as well as under the state of Maine Constitution. The states shall not be enforced. What do you wish to do with this article? A motion to a second? Yep, I have a second. All right, is there discussion? Do you have anybody that wants to speak to the article? Seeing none, all in favor of the article? Thank you. All opposed? Motion fails. Article 10. Shall the town vote to raise and appropriate $197,828.94 for the following general administration expenses? We have those listed there, as well as the amounts for the last 2 years. Is there a motion on this article? Okay, we have a motion for a second. I'm right out of the same car. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. All opposed? And that passes. In these the next few articles, just as that one, there are a lot of different numbers, and if there's something you want to particularly speak to, one part or another of the article, you're welcome to do that. So, but if no one has a problem with any particular part of the article, we'll take it, in each case, we'll take it as a group. So moving on now to Article 11. So the town vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $582,000 for the following town road maintenance costs. And again, you have the list there. The money would come $540,000 $42,000 from property taxes and $40,000 from MODC local road assistance program. And there's a piece of your state dollars at work. Is there a motion? Okay, is there a second? Yep, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you. All opposed? And that passes. Article 12. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $25,000 to go toward the purchase of the Bobcat or skid steer or other sidewalks, snow removal maintenance machinery. Is there a motion on this article? Okay, I have a motion and a second. Yep. Okay. Any discussion? Over in the red car behind you there. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Wondering if the sidewalks are gonna be improved as of done.
The sidewalks are going to be totally rebuilt in this rehabilitation project that's going on between now and a year from now. So we will have the sidewalks. And we wanted something to maintain them a little better with.
Any other questions? Seeing none? All those in favor of the motion? Article 13. So the town vote to have Central Maine Power install a street light on pole number 527/109, which is across Route 26 from the entrance to Outlook Road. Motion? Yep. Second? Okay. Any discussion? Anybody have any questions? Up in Newry, we used to fight. One neighborhood got a street light. Every neighborhood wanted a street light. Not the way here. Okay. If there's no discussion, all those in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you. I guess it passes. Article 14. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $62,000 for the municipal utilities account. Motion? Yep. Second? Yep. Any discussion? Is that discussion or a vote? Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you, and all opposed? That passes. Article 15. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $85,000 for the operating and payroll expenses of the Woodstock Fire Department for the ensuing year. Is there a motion? Yep. Second? Yep. Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Okay, thank you, and all opposed? Great, thank you very much. That article passes. Article 16, shall the town vote to raise and appropriate $1,000 for operating expense of the emergency management department for recommendation here that we take Articles 16, 17, 18, and 19 as one vote. And the reason for that is that the money is all the same as we raised last year. If anybody wants to take one of those in particular to talk about, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'll take a motion for all four at once. Okay, I have a motion in a second. Okay, and is there any discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor then of those four articles? Thank you, and all opposed? Good, no, that's a quick way to do it. Great, thanks. Article 20. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $145,820 for insurance, legal, and audit expenses, plus dividends and rebates specific to those accounts. We have a list of the accounts there, along with the amounts from the previous years. Is there a motion? Okay, second? Yep. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? That article passes. Article 21. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $12,000 for the Recreation Department's operation and ball field maintenance. Motion? Second? Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. All opposed? Great, that passes. Article 22. The town vote to raise and appropriate $60,000 for building and property maintenance expenses. That's listed in there, which involves the buildings themselves, as well as the cemeteries and town lines, the spring, things like that. So motion, yes, thank you. Second, yep. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. All opposed? Article 23. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $15,141 as requested by the following provider agencies. And you have the list there of all the agencies. One of Vern is modeling a new design Woodstock hard worker coat. His name right on it. So Article 23, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you, all opposed? That passes. Article 24. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $15,891.06 for planning and dues expenses and to pay planning and appeals board members $35 per meeting. The stipends come from the money that's collected from the permit fees and not from the taxes. Motion on that? Okay. Second? Great. Is there discussion? All right, all in favor? Great, thank you. All opposed? And that passes. Article 25. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $150,000 for Woodstock's share of the operational expenses of the T&W transfer station. Motion? Have it? Second? Okay. Any discussion? Okay, Vern wants to tell you why he's gonna cost an extra $30,000.
You may know, but the increase is due to the fact that the need for recyclables is way down. The market for recyclables is way down, and they're not being able to sell as many. And due to the times that we're living in, people are throwing away a lot more stuff, cleaning up, and taking care of some things they probably wanted to for a long time. So the cost has been a lot more this year, and we just think that we're going to be spending probably this amount for this coming year.
What's transfer station? Okay, is there any further discussion on the transfer station? Seeing none, all those in favor, raising the $22,000. Thank you, and opposed? Vote passes. Article 26, so the town vote to raise and appropriate $2,000 for the Woodstock Student Scholarship Fund. Each Woodstock student graduating from high school and going on to college is qualified to apply for a $600 scholarship. A motion? Yep. Second? Yes, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Very good. All opposed? And that passes. Article 27. Shall the town vote to raise and appropriate $22,000 for the annual assessing and mapping work? Motion? Yep. Second? Yep. Any discussion? All? Yep, we got discussion.
My question is, do we have the assessing fee every year? Do we have all of our real estate assessed each year, each budget?
No, it's reassessment is done for the 10 years. They do it. Yeah. Any change of property ownership or new homes is done the year that occurs, but otherwise it's the revaluation is only done every 10 years.
Every year?
No, every 10 years. So the what we're talking about here. Oh, yeah. Well, the assessing and mapping work is the assessors come around every year to pick up new properties, as well as any additions to properties. If you build a garage or anything like that, they have to reassess just the piece that's been added. Is that what you mean?
Mr. Gibbs?
I don't know. Is there anything else you need from that? Okay, so this is Article 27, raise $22,000 for the annual assessing and mapping work done for the town. There's no discussion. Is there a motion? No, is that right? All in favor? And thank you. All opposed? That passes. Thank you. Article 28. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $3,500 for property tax abatements. Motion. Second. Is there discussion or questions on that? Seeing none, all in favor? Okay, thank you. All opposed? And that passes. Article 29, shall the town vote to appropriate funds for the capital reserve accounts as follows. $55,000 for major highway reserve account. That's $35,000 from taxes and $20,000 from the tree growth reserve account. And $55,000 for the fire truck reserve account. And the same thing, $35,000 from taxes and $20,000 from the tree growth reserve account. Is there a motion? Okay, second? Yep. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. All opposed? That article passes. Article 30. So the town vote to raise and appropriate $4,600 for the following community organizations. Again, you have the list there. It's the Lakes Association, the Friends of Shag Pond, Greenstock Stonerville Club, Memorial Day festivities, Bethel Chamber of Commerce, the Music Heart and Soul is no longer asking for money. There it is. Is there a motion on that? Yep. Second? Yep. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, all opposed? Thank you, that passes. Article 30, so the town vote to charge a rate of 6% interest on unpaid taxes after December 1st, 2021. And the state that taxes are due and payable by December 1st, 2021. So this is a drop. I didn't think anything ever went backwards. It's always been 7%. Is there a motion? Yes, thank you. Second? Yep. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. And all opposed? And that passes. Thank you. Article 32, shall the town vote to accept payment of taxes prior to the annual tax commitment? So motion on that? Yep. Second? Yep. Any discussion? Anybody got questions? Confused? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? And all opposed? Thank you, it passes. Article 33, so the town vote to authorize the selectmen on behalf of the town to sell or dispose of obsolete or unneeded town equipment valued at $10,000 or less on such terms as they deem advisable. Motion? Yep. Second? Yep. Thank you. Any discussion on that? Seeing none? All in favor? Thank you. All opposed? And that passes. Article 34. So the town vote to authorize selectmen on behalf of the town to sell or dispose of any real estate acquired by the town for non-payment of taxes thereon by bid process or after bid process with no bidder and by reasonable offer, with such terms as they deem advisable, and to execute quitclaim deeds for such property, except that the municipal officer shall use a special sale process required by Title 36 MRS, such paragraph 943C, for qualifying homestead property if they choose to sell it to anyone other than the former owners. Motion? Yep. Second? Okay. Any questions? Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Article 35, shall the town vote to appropriate the money received from the town of Bethel for winter road maintenance of sections of Gore Road and Bird Hill Road to the winter roads account? Motion? Second? Yep. Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. All opposed? That passes. town vote to contribute our 2020 stipend from Charter Communications, the amount of $4,925.22 to Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11, local access station. Motion, yep. Second, yep. Any discussion? Big cheer for Channel 11. Anybody opposed? There's the recordings. Okay, great, that passes. So the town vote to authorize, this is Article 37, so the town vote to authorize municipal officers to spend an amount not to exceed 1/4 of the budgeted amount in each category, except for winter roads and liability insurances, during the period from January 1st, 2022 to the annual meeting in 2022. Motion? Yep. Second? Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All opposed? That passes. Article 38. So the town vote to authorize the municipal officers to make applications for, accept, and expend on behalf of the town of Woodstock all gifts, grants, or other funds as may now or hereafter be available or forthcoming. I think King George wrote that. The motion? Yep. Second? Yep. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Thank you. All opposed? That passes. The article we've been looking for, Article 39. So a town vote to appropriate funds from the following accounts up to the amounts listed below to help reduce the tax commitment for 2021. And we have various and sundry incomes, interest income, license fees, fund balance surplus, state revenue sharing, and excise taxes paid on vehicles. Motion? Yep. Second? Okay, thank you. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? All opposed? And that passes. Maybe we should do it on the public every year? Yeah. All right, well that concludes our activity for the evening.
Just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming, helping us get this meeting done. Really appreciate it, and I love seeing the flags wave. Have a good evening.
I thought the balcony was particularly great.
Yes, it was.
Didn't hurt so much after all.
No, it doesn't.